Hey everybody on YouTube, this is Kyle Snyder once again, aka Clipton, and first off I want to apologize for being late on these picks. I've been busy with other things, but anyways, here are my picks for week 8 of the 2012 NFL season. First up, we got our Thursday night game that's going to begin in a few hours, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings to win this one. They clearly have improved tremendously this season. And as for the Bucs, they've still got a few areas to work on. So I'm going with the Vikings to win this one. Next up, we got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Philadelphia Eagles, aka the Bird Bowl. And I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons to win this one. They seem to be the main team to beat this season, as far as wanting to make a statement in the NFC is concerned, because they still have not lost a game. They're 6-0. The Eagles are 3-3. Even though the Eagles are going to have home field advantage, obviously the fan support isn't going to be as strong as it used to be. So I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons to win this one. Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets, and last time these two teams fought against each other, the Jets won in overtime, and I expect we'll see a very similar result. So the New York Jets are my pick to win this one. They're definitely hungry for a win, and I have no doubt they'll get it. Next up, we got the New England Patriots versus the St. Louis Rams, and this one could go either way. I mean, obviously they're playing in London, and so in a way, neither team is really going to have home field advantage, even though the Rams are designated as the home team. It could go either way, but I think the Patriots are once again going to barely pull it off. I mean, if they go 0-4 against the NFC West, then the Patriots aren't going to make it to the playoffs. So the Patriots are my pick to win this one. Next up, we got the Washington Redskins versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And my bet is that the Redskins are going to win this one. I mean, they have a tremendous offense. Obviously the Steelers, they do have some injury problems. Yes, they did beat the Cincinnati Bengals last week, but I believe that they won't be able to keep it up for long. I mean, you can only have so many people injured for so long before it finally catches up to you. The Redskins, on the other hand, yes, they've lost Pierre Garçon for quite some time. I mean, he may be out for the rest of the season. Who knows? We're still waiting for an update on that. But I believe RG3 is going to once again show a statement to another Super Bowl winning quarterback that he is for real, and that the Washington Redskins are going to win this one. Next up, we got the Seattle Seahawks versus the Detroit Lions. And obviously the Detroit Lions are another team that is struggling this season, and the Seahawks are looking to take advantage of it. However, the Seahawks have been having difficulties on the road. And the Detroit Lions, no matter where they play, they're having difficulties this season. Games that they should be winning, for some reason they're losing. Games they should be, I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks to win this one, even though it could go either way. The Seahawks seem to have a slight edge over the Lions. Next up, we got the San Diego Chargers versus the Cleveland Browns. It's like Cleveland had the opportunity to show last week that they could win against a rebuilding team, and they couldn't get it done. It's like the Chargers, however, want revenge after that humiliating defeat against the Denver Broncos 2 weeks ago. Giving up 35 unanswered points in the second half and blowing it at the end. It's like, I have no doubt the San Diego Chargers are going to show who they once were, and the Chargers are going to dominate over the Cleveland Browns. Next up, we got the Carolina Panthers versus the Chicago Bears. This one should be a no-brainer. The Chicago Bears all the way. They are a extremely tough defensive team to play against when they're at full strength. I mean, the same can be said about their offense. When it's at full strength, they're obviously not going to be taken lightly. I mean, obviously the Bears, the only way the Bears can be defeated is if they're having injury problems, as we've seen last season. Otherwise, if they're at full strength, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and the Bears are definitely going to show the Carolina Panthers how a full-strength team really should play. Next up, we got the Indianapolis Colts versus the Tennessee Titans, a division rivalry, and no doubt this game is going to decide who gets second place in the AFC South Division. You know, it could go either way because the Tennessee Titans, they've been building momentum with their previous wins. The Colts, on the other hand, they're looking to be a solid rebuilding team. They're looking to show that they're even better than a rebuilding team. It's a game that could go either way. Obviously, Jake Locker won't be in it. Matt Hasselbeck will. And the team seems to be playing much better with Matt Hasselbeck than Jake Locker. Obviously, Locker's been having injury problems this season. But as for the Colts, you know, they've been having their share of injuries as well. Once again, it's a game that could go either way, but I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts. They want to get a win on the road, and I have no doubt this is the game for them to do it. Next up, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Green Bay Packers. No contest, Green Bay Packers. Next up, we got the Oakland Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs, the two worst teams in the AFC West Division. And I think the Raiders have a slight edge. They will win over the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, yes, they are playing at Kansas City, which will give the Chiefs an edge, but in the end, the Raiders are going to barely pull it off. Next up, we have the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. And this time they're playing at Dallas, and, you know, the Giants have had a history of beating the Cowboys at their home field. So, you know, the Dallas Cowboys, I think this time they're going to lose against the New York Giants, and the Giants are going to retain their top spot in the NFC North Division. Or NFC West Division, I'm sorry. Yeah, NFC West. My mistake. Alright, next up we got the New Orleans Saints versus the Denver Broncos, our Sunday night game. And it's a rematch between Peyton Manning and Drew Brees. The rematch that we've been waiting for ever since Super Bowl 44. These two quarterbacks are no doubt going to make it to the Hall of Fame. And there's no doubt they're going to put up some great numbers this game. At least as far as offense is concerned. And this is a game that could go either way. Obviously, the Saints are starting to get back on their winning track. The Broncos, on the other hand, want to win this game so that they can remain on top of their division. And I'm going to, you know, it could go either way. My guess is that the Broncos are going to barely pull it off. I mean, obviously, they're going to have to go all out early on in this game in order to win it. Otherwise, the Saints are going to take this one easily. And finally, we got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Arizona Cardinals for our Monday night game. And obviously, the Cardinals have been falling tremendously ever since Kevin Kolb got injured, and the Niners are showing why they are the team to beat in the NFC West, and I have no doubt the San Francisco 49ers are going to win this one. They're going to show their dominance on defense, and the Cardinals are going to have little luck in trying to stop that defense. So those are my picks for Week 8, and let's see what happens. Obviously, this is the most unpredictable sport in all of sports in the world. So thanks for watching. See you next week.